the new drug today. After today, we all kind of lay low for a bit. Hopefully you enjoy your Thanksgiving. We will certainly try to enjoy ours. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, JJ LaSelva with you on a Wednesday installment of our program. Our Wednesday is always brought to you by Ricketts Electric. And it's Thanksgiving Eve and another beautiful day out there, Carlyon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you have a wonderful celebration. And in regards to Ricketts Electric, they're hiring. So if you're looking, Ricketts Electric would be a great place to work. So Zach Ricketts is who you need to call.
You think they'd be great people to work with, or what?
Oh my gosh!
I know, we're going to have lunch with Zach next week.
That's right. Yeah, so on Tuesday.
One of the all-time good people.
Yeah.
You really will. If you're an electrician, if you're an apprentice, if you're even thinking about getting into it, give them a call. Nobody can train you better. Zach and his dad Dave, they do a wonderful job, and they've got that big team over there now, and they're just good folks, man. I mean, they've done so much good work for us. They've been so kind and charitable to Walk-Off Charities. I will tell you that, like so many of our good sponsors have, and we really do appreciate that. And we appreciate our friends from Ricketts Electric Wednesday around here. Let me set the scene for the show today, because we're kind of pushing some stuff in together. No sports in courts. I talked to Brett earlier. I said we're going to kind of try to get our picks in here. We got the State Farm College football report. So we got a lot of stuff we want to get, and we want to preview a lot of games over the course of the weekend, so we'll certainly get to that today. So we got a lot of stuff. We will do our picks at about 4:40. It's a very hotly contested picks contest. There's no question. JD, he's routed us, right? You know that, right? He's just totally
8-0 last weekend. I assume that it's pretty much wrapped.
Yeah,
up.
It was a 12-point week for him.
Whew.
Yeah, I mean, he by the way, game picker-uppers on the season. Okay, on the season, Carlyon has 12. You and I have 8 between us. Okay, between us.
I think he had how many last week?
He had 4.
And
yeah,
I mean, picking Ole Miss to straight up win on the road was
and it kind
very
of, he had a
impressive.
big lead. I mean, if he didn't have a big lead, I'm giving him no credit, even though he is. I mean, again, it was Eric.
Wait till you see the picks this week.
It was Eric Kressler throwing one to McGriff late in the game to run it up at Georgia. So, but he has pretty much put us out of our misery. But we'll give you that. We'll do some picks coming up this week.
Yeah, and as you guys know, 8-0 just means you're probably looking at 0-8 coming up. That's how this thing works.
In 0-8, you'd still have a double-digit lead. Okay, just so you know that, just so you know we're kind of where we are. That's kind of how far behind we are. But hey, a lot of fun stuff to talk about today on the program. I really do want to get to some of the fun stuff. I love rivalry week. There's just something about it. I mean, there's just something about these games, and as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to give you a chance to tell me what an idiot I am. I don't think either will happen. I think both will be double-digit wins. But Georgia Tech could beat Georgia, and Florida State could beat Florida. I don't think either one of those are going to happen. Florida State's had such a bad season. They're such a bad team that I don't think they can conjure up enough to win that game. And Georgia's special. Georgia's still special. And I think Georgia kind of found themselves in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Tennessee found that out. But crazier things have happened. Those two lines what are the two lines? Georgia and Florida.
Georgia last I saw was 12.
Okay.
And I think Florida's
about the same.
15.
Okay, but neither one of them are 35 is the point.
Correct.
And they are rivalry games. I mean, Georgia's really good. If Georgia's only a 12-point favorite over somebody, that means they respect the other team and the other team's chance to win the game.
Right. Well, again, what makes it tricky with Georgia Tech is, they're going to slow it down. They have a quarterback that can hurt you with his legs. They're physical. They're tough. We've seen that even going all the way back to week 0, winning a game in Ireland against FSU, who at the time, looked like they were going to be really good. Again, Florida State takes their first drive of the season, goes right down the field, scores in impressive fashion, and Georgia Tech able to weather that, win the game on a walk-off field goal. So, yeah, they've been impressive. I don't think they have oodles of talent, but they have an old-school path to victory that if you're ever looking for a team to pull an upset, look for a team that plays football the old way, which is physical, run, slow the game down, and obviously the fact that it's a road game is going to make it difficult, and I think Georgia wins, but I would be surprised if Georgia, who I do think this is the most vulnerable Georgia has been, I still think they're good. I'd probably pick them to win the national title when the bracket comes out. But I do catch myself because I think a lot of that is the brand and what they've been for the last few years under Kirby Smart. I mean, this team is certainly shown. You're right, they played well against Tennessee, but they really weren't competitive in Oxford. I mean, I think Florida with DJ Lagway or Graham Mertz, but, Mertz was already out. Lagway certainly was off to a great start in that game. Who knows who wins the cocktail party if Lagway doesn't get hurt. He did, and Georgia wins, and they deserve to win the game, but you have to factor it in. And obviously, Georgia played a horrible first half against an Alabama team that isn't, the elite team that we're used to the Tide being. So, yeah, I mean, I think Georgia is very good. I don't know that they're great yet. Maybe they become great. There's still so much of this season left to play, particularly if you go all the way to the title game. So we'll see. But I think Georgia Tech absolutely can be competitive with them, and I think they'll have some confidence that they can be competitive with them.
Yeah, and so you made a really good point. Tough physical teams are teams that pull upsets, not finesse teams. But one addendum to that, or one addition to that, I should say, is rivalry games. If you're a tough physical team in a rivalry game, so that helps. Which is why, flip it around, it will be even harder for Florida State, because Florida somehow has become a really physical team. If you really, we'll get into this a little bit later on, but Hays, if you really look at the why has Florida turned it around, first you can say they play hard for Napier, and Scott Strickland coming out certainly supported them, and DJ Lagway's made some unbelievable plays and makes everybody better, all of which is true. But you still have to look on the field and say, why is the team winning, right? Bro, they've been as physical as anybody they have played since about the fourth week of the season. They were as physical as Tennessee. They were more physical than Kentucky. They were as physical as Georgia. You don't match Georgia's physicality very often, but if that game's 20-20 with 5 minutes left in the game, that means you're hitting them in the mouth as hard as they're hitting you in the mouth.
I thought Florida won the street fight. Yeah, I just think Georgia was more talented.
Yeah,
and, Florida's playing with Aiden Warner, who isn't going anywhere football-wise. Georgia's playing with Carson Beck, who we might look up in 5 years and is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. And clearly won the street fight against LSU and Ole Miss, evidenced by the fact that LSU and Ole Miss had NFL quarterbacks outgaining Florida easily. Both those teams had 100 more yards than the Gators. So how'd the Gators win? Because the Gators hit them in the mouth harder.
Yeah.
That's a reality.
We talk about the great job the Jaguars do with their digital and the hunt and all the great videos they put out. I'll commend Florida. It's not as long, but it's a 6-minute video they put out last night, their digital team, for the win over Ole Miss. And if you're a Gator fan, you should watch it, particularly those last 45 seconds when Napier is talking to them in the post-game locker room. It's really good stuff. And Napier's message is basically sort of, look, we've got talent, they've got talent, but nobody plays harder than the Gators.
Right.
And they've completely bought into that.
No question. And when you play hard and you're big and physical, and one thing that I'll say this, whether it's strength program or recruiting the right guys, one thing I noticed about Napier, and when they were losing, I was thinking maybe need them faster guys. And I'm still not sure how much team speed they have. I don't think Florida's a particularly fast team, which is the best defensive team.
Particularly with the injuries.
Yeah, well, and the injuries have made them even less of a fast team. But I don't think they're a particularly fast team, just watching them. But, boy, they're a big team. And I remember thinking early in the year when they were losing all the games or losing games, why didn't he get more fast guys rather than all these linemen that are 6'8", 330, and right? And well, I mean, running backs who are 230 and big possession receivers. Well, now that's paying off. I mean, they're a big team. They're a physically. I mean, Pup Howard, who's been out, he's a linebacker who's 6'4", 240. That's a defensive end in most teams, right? Mm-hmm. So they've been a big physical.
JJ, do you listen to this and just snicker?
No, absolutely not.
You don't sit there and say, we beat you guys. We could have put 70 on you guys.
I agree.
What are you talking about?
I just think Florida was completely overwhelmed and unready.
Yeah.
Like they just, that goes to Napier though. Like, how do you have a team not ready for that game? It has me scratching my head
let's do a 2-hour pregame workout in 105 degree heat.
If Florida played Miami right now, I would still pick Miami by probably 10, But
it wouldn't be what happened.
But it wouldn't be like it would.
No
it
way.
wouldn't be. Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's
but
still got to make a Miami fan chuckle.
I'd still go 34. I'd still go 35-23.
Yeah, Miami can still score on anybody.
Yeah. I'd still.
Florida's not stopping Cam Ward.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about those games and everything that means. Other games and other rivalry week games that matter to us. We'll certainly talk about that today. Our picks come up at 4:40. The State Farm College Football Report, as always, on a Wednesday at 5:00. Hays will have headlines in the 5:00 hour. Then we'll wrap it for the week. So got all kind of fun stuff to go. Some interesting news, by the way. Daniel Jones, I wouldn't have guessed that. So I wound up with the Vikings. So we'll talk about some of that stuff coming up. But when we come back, let's start with Trevor Lawrence. He spoke to the media today, as did Doug Peterson. I thought Trevor had some interesting comments. He's certainly going to try and play. It's pretty clear. He's taking the reps. He's trying to play. Nobody knows. But he also said to the media today, Hays, that he doesn't know that it won't be surgery. He doesn't want it to be surgery. He wants to finish the season with his guys. But it really is a day-to-day thing.
And you can see that lump.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty pronounced because I don't think he's wearing tight clothing.
Yeah.
And you can see his clavicle is dislodged.
Yeah.
And it's further up than it should be. I mean, we talked to Trevor enough that, that's something you're going to notice. And it's clear. It's been clear. But I thought today you could really see it when he was up on the podium. I mean, it's disfigured. I mean, it's obviously wrong. It's something that makes sense that it could be a surgical fix.
Yeah.
Because normally if something appears off, then surgery is certainly on the table. So yeah, I mean, I think it's still very much up in the air what direction they take. And
yeah, you'll hear from him in just a second. I want you to hear kind of his answer to that. We'll do that in just a bit. So we'll talk Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. We'll do our picks. We got a lot of fun stuff. We'll talk all this college football. Got a lot to do on a Wednesday. Brought to you by Ricketts. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, JJ LaSelva on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Every special teams player waits for his number to be called.
We got this.
After the game, we call the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Game ball, baby.
On 1010XL.
Good job, team.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Find your holiday season stride with MyBookie. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And check out their cool prop bets. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a double bonus. For a limited time, MyBookie will double your money on your first deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Jaguars are a 5-point home underdog to the Texans. The over-under is 43.5 points. The Gators are a 15-point road favorite against the Noles. The Canes, an 11-point road favorite against Syracuse. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it's a double bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Beaver's annual Black Friday silent sale. Every car on the lot will be discounted so low, we can't even show the prices on TV. Doors open at 6 a.m. Friday. First come, first served. And once they're gone, it's over. Plus, anyone who buys between 6 and 9 a.m. will get a big screen TV and $1,000 cash. Want more? We're giving away free oil changes between 6 and 9 a.m. The Black Friday silent sale only at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. You don't want to miss this.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 877-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Get down to the bank Sunday, December 1st, when the Jaguars go head-to-head with division rivals, the Houston Texans. You won't want to miss our My Cause, My Cleats game, when your favorite players get to champion causes close to their heart by wearing custom-designed cleats. Lock in your seats now for a 1 p.m. kickoff by calling 904-633-2000 or visit us online at jaguars.com/tickets. We'll see you there.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
There are Black Friday deals, and then there are Kohl's Black Friday deals. Where else can you get 40% off Levi's, up to 50% off Sephora fragrances, and home favorites for under $10, all in the same place? And it gets better. You can score extra Kohl's cash with $15 earned for every $50 spent. Get 15% off some of your finds, and save even more with limited-time doorbusters, like 50% off toys. Select styles. Offers end November 29th. Coupons do not apply to Levi's and toys. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora. Some restrictions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the product, services, best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Christmas. 0% financing, available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway. And as always, tell them Prosser sent you.
This is 1010XL's Dylan Denmark. They call me Pockets on the radio, but for my floral needs, I only call Kuhn Flowers. Never take chances when you send a floral arrangement. Always use the best in the business, Kuhn Flowers. Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Ricketts Electric Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Ricketts Electric, the power connection you can trust.
We do thank our friends from Ricketts Electric, the best in the business. You need an electrician, they are the ones for you. Frangie, Carlyon, La Selva. I want to pull this up. JJ, I didn't prepare you, so I apologize, but I want to hear the comment from Trevor Lawrence, if you have it, about the surgery and these. Do you have that in there somewhere, JJ?
I have the first couple. The Jags, being the Jags, just released it. It wasn't live, so I only had time to do the first couple. But yeah, I could give his update on his injury.
You've played. This is Trevor Lawrence talking about his injury that he's dealing with.
You know, I'm feeling better. It's been obviously what 3 weeks, something. I have to lose track of time. A little over 3 weeks. So it's good for me to be able to rest and try to heal up as much as possible. So, you know, I've definitely made some progress. So I'm feeling better. Been able to do a little bit more. It's taken longer than I wanted it to. You know, obviously I want to be out there and I want to be playing, and it's honestly, it just sucks watching and being there in the game, being on the sideline, not even dressed out, and you know, the last two games. So that's, you know, been tough. But so I'm hoping I'm back out there this week. It'd be great. That's what I want. You know, I want to be back on the field playing with my teammates, and that's the plan.
So he's going to try and play. He has said the surgery's not off the table, even during the season. So I will tell you this: I applaud him, Hays. I applaud the fact that I think Trevor is a gamer. And I'm not just saying that. I think what you just heard him say, it bums him out not playing. There are quarterbacks and there are players that would say, listen, sir, we're 2-9. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to be here a long time. Let's get this surgery and let's do this now. And I'll see you guys in training camp or OTAs or whatever. And I'm not just saying this. Honest to God, I'm not just saying this as cliche or he's not that guy. He wants to walk in that locker room and say, guys, I'm coming out there with you. Even if my shoulder's sore, I'm going to come out there with you. And I think he's going to try and play Sunday. We'll see. Nobody knows. Nobody, there's no inside information on this one. But I think you're going to see 16 out there. I think he's going to play with a sore shoulder. I think it's going to hurt. But I don't think there's a risk of him injuring it worse or he wouldn't be out there. And I'll bet you see him out. I'm going to guess you're going to see him out there.
Yeah, I mean, if he's practicing in limited fashion, then that would certainly indicate that he's tracking to play. I always think, if you're limited on Wednesday, your chances are probably over 90% that you're going to be able to go on Sunday. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's the wisest move for this organization, but I commend his toughness certainly, and I don't know that when we get into the weekend, if more of a long-term approach will win the day, and they'll say, you know what, you're a tough kid, everyone understands, you've got something that could you play through it? Yes, but you could also do further. There's no way he couldn't do further damage to that. I mean, you can see the lump on his shoulder. I mean, you can't tell me that it can't be made worse. And so, I mean, again, if they were in contention, obviously you'd play through it. But if it's something that this could really affect how his offseason goes, that's the last thing this franchise needs. Talk about the last thing this franchise needs. Right. The last thing is to have to tell, when you're interviewing coaches, you're interviewing GMs, well, what's the status with Trevor? Well, we don't know. He just had surgery 10 days ago. I mean, that's not where you want to be. And again, I do think you have to factor in where you are in this race. And the last thing you want to do is make it harder on your 2025 race. So, I think that I'm sure that Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence are doing everything they can to have him ready to play. I just don't know that that's in the best interest of the organization for him to try and gut this out. Because, newsflash, he's going to get hit.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about it, that this offensive line, who has had moments where they play pretty well, but particularly against Danielle Hunter, I mean, he's going to get hit.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit here. He's going to get hit. I don't disagree with that. I can't imagine if it could be made worse by playing that he would play. Now, that's my opinion. And again, we're not doctors. I can't imagine that if you're risking further injury by playing on. Now, you risk injury every time you play. I mean, and all 53 or 45 or however many you're dressed are risking injury every time you go out. It's a violent game. But I can't imagine that if playing is more dangerous than it ordinarily would be, and I can't imagine they'd play him. And I may be wrong, but I can't imagine you'd play him if there's the risk of it getting worse. And again, I don't know, and I haven't asked that question. We'll all ask him that question, but I just can't, particularly in a season where you're 2-9, if you could possibly injure it worse by playing. Now, again, he might get hurt, and someone might say, see, he shouldn't have gotten hurt. But again, they've got one of the best orthopedic surgeons in the world. Kevin Kaplan is world renowned. He's looked at as one of the best orthopedists in all of pro sports. I can tell you that, not just because he's our buddy. That's a fact. I can't imagine they would clear him if there was a chance you could hurt it worse. I do believe you could play with some pain. I do believe it's almost like a pitcher pitching with a sore arm. I think sometimes if a pitcher goes, listen, you're not going to hurt your arm any worse, but it's going to be sore a little bit. So we'll see. So I don't think they'd put him out there if he could injure it. In my opinion, if he could injure it worse. What I do wonder about is, does it affect how he plays? Can you not turn? I don't know enough about it, but can you not turn your hips the same way? Can you not? I do think common sense says there's not going to be any RPOs. You know, if it's sore, why get it hurt? Why get it hit more than you want to get it hit? But I can't imagine Shad Khan would sign off on letting him play if there's the danger of hurting it worse. I think, and that's not just a Jaguars thing. I don't think any team would play the guy. So we'll see. We'll see what winds up happening. I'll say this: I'm kind of glad he's playing because I want to watch him play.
Well, I mean, of course, I would love it if he plays.
Yeah.
I just don't know that it's the smartest thing in the club's interest for him to play through this.
And so we'll see. The other thing is, I do find myself thinking. You asked it the other day during headlines. If they win, it's still the longest of long shots. But I think that'll make for a fun next week. And if they win again, they now play some teams that now the bad news is the Titans are playing a little better. You know, and they play them twice.
Titans are going to be a bad matchup for this club.
I think that too.
The Titans' defensive front.
I totally
this
agree.
Sweat kid that they got out of Texas that slipped in the
playing
draft.
Great.
He
and
is
so is
quick. And Simmons, I mean,
back to being Simmons. By the way, you're one step ahead of me. That's the thing. Is that what you say is exactly what you just said. Let's worry about this game now. But when we talk about the Titans game, the Titans have struggled, but they're a tough matchup for Jacksonville because of that defensive front. Sweat's playing great, and Simmons looks like he's prime Simmons again.
Absolutely.
You know, and they have to play them twice. That might be the two hardest games of the remaining games.
I think they are.
Yeah, I mean, it really might be. But nonetheless, watching it now, watching them play, it would be fun to see them get another win. Yeah, they're only 3-9. They got no chance, and the Texans are still 7-6. But it would be fun to track. It'd be fun to be the chaser, rather than the chased. If you win this game, see what happens the next game. See what happens. That'd make it fun for me.
And you don't want C.J. Stroud early in his career to be 3-1 against you. You know, you got a split last year because you won the game in Houston. It'd be nice to get a split again. You know, winning the rematch. You know, this time each team held serve at home. But you'd like for Stroud to be 2-2, where well that's not obviously that's respectable, but it's not dominance. You know, 3-1 when you're 2 years into the league, you know, that would be a concern. So, you know, I think part of it too is just looking again towards the future. And if you're able to get this win, then you keep Houston reeling. Stroud now isn't 2-0 in Jacksonville. I mean, I think all those things, you know, matter as you move forward beyond this season. I think the Jaguars should win this game. I mean, Houston, to me, if Houston was in pretty much any other division other than maybe the NFC South, they wouldn't even be a factor. They'd be out of it. They just happen to be in a division that is got three terrible teams in it, and they're the least terrible of the group. And again, you can't minimize the fact that Houston has yet to have their bye, and the Jags are just coming off of theirs. That is a gigantic advantage in the NFL.
I truly, you've been consistent. You said that all week long. I certainly believe the Jags can beat the Texans. So there's no doubt in my mind they can beat them. I think that. It's hard for me to say should beat them when a 2-9 team is a home underdog against a 7-5 team. Now, again, neither team's played very well of late. It's hard for me to say should, but I think they could. I think they could win the game, and it's going to be certainly fun to watch. It's going to be fun to just have Trevor back out there. I do worry about the Jags. Look, I mean, who's catching passes? That concerns me. I mean, other than you have a rookie who's a very good rookie, but he's a rookie. He's going to get double covered, and your other two starters are gone for the year. Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis are gone for the year. So, and Evan Ingram's a very good pass-catching tight end. But who else is catching passes? Right. That concerns me. As I think about playing against a team that rushes the passer very well, a Jags team that I don't think has played great up front, against a good pass rushing team, and I don't know who's going to catch the ball. That's why it's hard for me to think they should win the game. I think they could win the game, but a lot of things have to happen for them to win the game. I hope they do.
Well, shame on this Jaguars defensive front if they don't embarrass the Texans line, because Houston's offensive line was bad to start with and has been really wrecked by injury. They have the worst NFL starting offensive line right now in the league.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. It's a struggling offensive front. Can the Jags find something at tackle, defensive tackle? The Jags' ends have been pretty good. Can the Jags find something at defensive tackle to neutralize that at all? So we'll see what winds up happening. But Jags and Texans coming up on Sunday. I do hope Trevor can play. And again, everybody's been honest about that. When I've asked a lot of people. I was in the building today. I was in the Miller Electric Center. I was around them. I asked as many people as I could. And I think the general feeling is, look, no one's hiding anything here. He's taking every snap. He's taking most of the reps, I should say. He's trying like crazy to play. Doug Peterson has spoken to the media. Press Taylor today spoke to the media. Trevor spoke to the media. I think they're all telling the truth. Every day is a different day. Let's get out there if we can, and I hope Trevor's able to do it. We'll take a break. Our picks are next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Looking for a better used car shopping experience? You'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. With Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value for your trade, and peace of mind. And now is the best time to shop certified used cars and buy with confidence. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 1.9% APR on select Car Bravo certified vehicles. Only at Nimnick. Buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo, Nimnick Buick GMC can certify all makes and models. Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Trading in your old vehicle? Well, don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. So you can shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit that terrific showroom right off of Phillips Highway. You want a great deal? Where do you go? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnick.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
To get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, monster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
When mice and rats show up in your space, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents, and they'll keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so do we. Don't live with a rodent problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want is a septic emergency. Call Duck Tech Rooter and schedule your septic tank pump out or full system inspection. 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and I just want to give a huge thank you and congratulations to Awaken 180 Weight Loss on their 10-year anniversary. Paige and her team have changed lives, mine included, with a solution that lasts. I'm glad I found Awaken 180, and I'm confident you will be too.
Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Friday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL's Gator Bites podcast wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
It's a game 80 years in the making. Join us for Thursday Night Football as we celebrate the 80th birthday of the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game. The SEC and ACC face off January 2nd at 7:30 on Bill Gay grounds at Everbank Stadium. Don't miss college football pageantry on display as we celebrate our 80th anniversary. Tickets and hospitality packages are on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. Get yours today.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Rookie wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. got his first taste of an NFL bye week, and now that he's back in the building, shared what he did during his time off to get his mind right, along with some of the things his offense can do moving forward to finish strong in the last 6 weeks of the season.
I just went back home, chilled for a little bit, was able to go to the game Saturday night. That was really it. I really just went home and chilled, went and did a hunting Friday morning, Saturday morning, but that was it. That was really about it. I feel like everybody came back refreshed, came back with a mindset, just finish this thing off strong as possible, and just go out there and do the best that we can do and finish strong.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The Frangie Show Picks Contest is presented by Sunshine Turf. For the highest quality artificial grass installations at affordable prices, it's Sunshine Turf.
Wow, we do thank our friends from Sunshine Turf. Caleb Smith, congratulations, Caleb, by the way, on your third. You and your beautiful wife's third child. SunshineTurf.info, by the way, is the website. Or you can call them at 904-383-0243 for putting greens in your yard or under your playgrounds. Everybody's doing it now, man. You never have to take care of it. It's gorgeous. This artificial turf everywhere, commercial and residential. The best in the business. SunshineTurf.info. Call Caleb at 904-383-0243. JJ, it was not a pretty week. It was not. Last week, Hays Carlyon, he hails from the Bowl School, 8-0 with 4 game picker-uppers, 12 total points. JJ, you were 3-5.
Is that the greatest week of all time?
It is. We've never had one of those before. You were 3-5 for 3 points. So you were totally lousy. Let me just say this. You were just disgustingly bad.
I was.
Pathetically bad. I'm just glad you weren't 1-7 with 1 total point, JJ, okay? 1-7, 1 total point. Total points last week, 12-3-1. Hays has kind of put us out of our misery. 46-30, 75 total points. JJ way behind, 48-38, 59 total points. The only thing that could be worse is being 44-42 with 53 total points. That's yours truly.
Okay.
So he has blown us out. Game picker-uppers, Hays 12, JJ 5, me 3. Hey, Moneyball's Hays 7-2. JJ and I both 6-3. Here's what I'll tell you. Hays has done a fantastic job. JJ sucked terribly. It's just one of the great suckings of all time. he's just one of the suckiest pickers of all time. But he's not the suckiest picker of all time because he actually has me to thank for that. So we've been really miserable. Let's get right to the games. Hays helped me pick and put them together. Let's start. Hays goes first on all of these now, like we're going to catch him, right? South Carolina on the road at Clemson. Who do you like?
It's great to be a Gamecock. Give me South Carolina.
God's following on the Gamecocks. JJ.
I'll go with the home team. Just based on being the home team, I think these guys are really even. I think the spread's really close, too. It's like 2 points. I'll go with the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm going to go against Hays. I'll go with Clemson, too. They call it good old-fashioned hate or clean old-fashioned hate. Hays Carlyon from the Moss. Well, the Moss. I got to say it right now.
That's right.
I got to start saying it right. I'll just say Hays Carlyon.
Yes, there
Georgia
we go.
Tech at Georgia. Who you like?
I think really good game, really close game, but the Bulldogs too much.
Yeah, I'm going with Georgia.
Yeah, same here. I think we all like Georgia in the ball game. I don't think Georgia Tech can beat them. So Georgia across the board. Notre Dame on the road to play Tony Vaselli's USC team. Who do you like, Hays Carlyon?
I think this is one of the big curveballs of the weekend. I think Lincoln Riley gets it done. JJ was telling us about this stat yesterday. There's only so many clubs that have been leading in every game in the fourth quarter this season. USC is one of them, despite having 5 losses. I say Lincoln Riley gets it done, upsets the Irish, and knocks them out of the playoffs.
I love it. I'll take cheer for old Notre Dame. I'll go the other way. JJ.
I agree with Hays. I think USC is going to win this one. I think Notre Dame hasn't really played a team in a while that can pass the ball. I think Louisville was probably the last one, and that was a good game. I'm going to go with USC at home.
I'm going to tell y'all, I get this game picker up. I could start a run.
That's right.
Here comes the run. I might sing the whole fight song. I've done it before. And finally, Florida at FSU. Hays Carlyon.
Yeah, I think Florida just too much right now. So I don't think it'll be a massacre by any stretch, but I think Florida is able to get a comfortable win in Tallahassee.
JJ?
I think the spread is much too low. I thought it would be like 21 plus. So I'm going to go with the Gators big in Tally.
Yeah, I would probably lay the points more than take them.
I would too.
Now I would lay the points, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But I like the Gators too, so we all like the Gators across the board. All right, NFL music. Let's switch gears a little bit. Talk a little National Football League,
which 3 games tomorrow.
That's exactly
one on Black Friday, which I don't remember if we had that last year. Maybe I'm forgetting.
I think
is that the Netflix
I think
game?
they did last year. I think it was the first year.
Okay.
One good thing about this week is you would think with 3 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, that Sunday is a bad slate. But no one has a bye this week.
Yes.
So
right.
you've
All
got
the
16 games. So there's a lot of inventory.
Let's start at Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra. Probably won't be all that frozen. Dolphins and Packers.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. The Packers don't have Romeo Doubs, who's sort of Jordan Love's safety blanket. I think that's going to matter. I really like how Tua's been playing. So the Dolphins obviously have a terrible history and cold weather. You're right. I don't know how awful it'll be yet there. But I'll say the Dolphins go up there with a rejuvenated Tua and beat the Pack.
All right, I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm going to go against you because that's worked well for me this year. JJ, Packers, Dolphins.
I agree. I thought I was going to be able to get one on Hays here, but now I feel like I'm battling for second. But I do like the Dolphins on the road here. Hopefully it's not snowing.
All right.
I'm praying it's not snowing.
Again, yet another game picker-upper. You think the Jaguars have a big comeback coming. Bengals at home against the Steelers, Hays.
I'm going to take Cincinnati here. I think Burrow will be able to find Chase enough with that stingy Steelers defense. And I do think Pittsburgh is going to hit some speed bumps here coming up. So even though their record is much better than Cincinnati's, I'll take Joe Burrow and the Bengals to defend their turf.
JJ.
Yeah, I think that the Steelers are going to come back down to earth here in the next however many weeks, and the Ravens are going to take sole control of that division, and it starts here. Well, didn't they lose last week, the Steelers?
So the Browns.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with the home team.
Coming with you, too, across the board. We all like the Bengals in that game. Ravens at home against the Eagles, Hays.
Ravens at home against the Eagles. Boy, this is tough.
Great game.
It is a great game. I'm going to take the Ravens because I think I trust Lamar more than I trust Jalen Hurts. I think the Eagles probably 1 through 20 have a better team, but I'm going to take Lamar and Derrick Henry to get one more point than Saquon Hurts and Brown and company.
JJ.
I love the Eagles right now. I'm going to go with Philly in that run game.
Coming with JJ. I like the Eagles, too. I think right now they found something. And finally, on the banks of the St. John's River, it flows north, you know. Everbank Stadium, not Everbank Field, Everbank Stadium. After the good guys have a week off. Texans at Jags. Hays Carlyon, what say you?
I don't think this leads to any sort of massive miracle run, but I do think the Jaguars get it done and take down Houston in your typical NFL upset. So, again, I'm not projecting that the Jaguars are going to be in it in the final weeks of the season, but I do think they upset a beaten-up Houston team in dire need of a break. Give me the Jaguars.
JJ LaSelva from Ocala Forest High School.
I think the Texans win, but Jags cover. Texans 27, Jags 24.
I think the same kind of game. I'll take the Texans as well, and yet another game picker-upper opportunity for Carlyon. There you go. Clemson, South Carolina. JJ and I both like Clemson at home. Hays like South Carolina on the road. We all three like Georgia to beat Tech. I'll take Notre Dame on the road. Both JJ and Hays like USC at home. We all like the Gators to beat the Noles. The Packers, I'll take the Packers at home. Both JJ and Hays like the Dolphins on the road in that game. We all three like the Bengals at home against the Steelers. JJ and I both think the Eagles win on the road. Hays has the Ravens at home, and Hays also has the Jags at home. JJ and I both like the Texans. One last time, the route that is our picks contest. Hays 46-30, 75 total points. JJ 48-38, 59 total points. I'm 44-42, 53 total points. Yes, that's 44-42 straight up, in case you're wondering. Not against the spread. I'm just that good. So there is that. We've got our college guys coming up in just a bit. Let's get to the NFL games that we haven't talked about yet for a second. Where are we headed, Hays? Were we headed for what we thought all along? Chiefs and Bills and Eagles, and where are we headed as we get closer and closer to the season's end here?
What I think has been so remarkable so far about this season, and obviously we're pretty deep through it now, to me, usually there is more of a middle class in the NFL, where you feel like that there's teams in that middle class that could make a push. A 6 seed could get to a Super Bowl and potentially win it. I don't see that this year. I think that there is 3 or 4 elite teams, and then there's a bunch of guys that are going to make the tournament that I honestly don't think have much of a chance to make waves. I'll give you an example about what I'm talking about here. So in the AFC, I don't think Pittsburgh can win the Super Bowl. I don't think Houston can win the Super Bowl. I don't think the Chargers can win the Super Bowl, and I don't think Denver can win the Super Bowl.
Agree on every one of those.
That's 4 of your 7 that are currently in that I don't think can win the Super Bowl. I'm not even sure they can win a game in the tournament. You look at the NFC side of things, you have to really love what Detroit and Philly look like. Beyond that, Seattle's the 3 seed. I think they stink. Atlanta's the 4 seed. I think they're decent, but not great. The Vikings as a 5, I think, are going to start to falter. I think the pixie dust is coming off of Minnesota. The Packers I like as a 6 seed, but I still don't know that I think that I can see them winning the Super Bowl, and I don't believe the Commanders can. So, again, when you look at it, I think you're talking about a league built on parity where I think it's a 5-team race.
Lions, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens?
Yeah.
I have a hard time arguing with that, and I'm even lost some confidence in the Ravens, who I thought were really good. They've sputtered around. Now, they played well Monday night, and they did it on the road, but they've sputtered around a little bit. But, yeah, it's I can tell you this. Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Lions really do sort of separate themselves from the pack. I know the Vikings are 9-2, but they do, don't they?
Yeah, and
the Vikings are a
we saw the Vikings.
Clunky 9-2.
Yeah, I don't.
Jags probably should have beat them.
Yeah, I don't see a great team in Minnesota. I think that they're doing well. They're well coached. They're getting the most out of their roster, but it's not going to be enough to take down these juggernaut teams.
It does feel like that. One more time, I want to thank my friends from Sunshine Turf, Caleb Smith and Company. SunshineTurf.info. The number to call, by the way, is 904-383-0243 if you want that terrific artificial turf in your yard. Caleb is the one to call, and they do a terrific, terrific job. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the State Farm College Football Report. Shane Matthews, Tom Block, and Joe Zagacki after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park. Party! Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza. Yeah! Just not enough for a party.
Pepperoni, sausage, ground beef.
You pick them.
At 1010XL.com. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Thanksgiving isn't just about stuffing your face, it's about stuffing your wallet, and MyBookie's got a bunch of killer promos to help you do just that. Thanksgiving Day, MyBookie's boosting the odds on Devon Achane to score the first touchdown in Dolphins versus Packers. If he scores first, you cash in big. If he doesn't, MyBookie's got your back with a full refund. That's what I call a no-lose bet. Starting Monday, MyBookie's Telegram prize pool contest kicks off. The pool starts at $15,000 and grows by $5,000 for every 1,000 new subscribers. All you have to do is join the Telegram channel by December to lock in your share. You'll find the Telegram channel link in our MyBookie videos this Wednesday on the 1010XL social platforms. This Thanksgiving, load up your plate, grab your phone, and lock in your picks. MyBookie's giving you risk-free football action, a shot at growing prize pool, and if you're new to the family, they'll double your deposit with my promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus, Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometoRockville.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers. Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Ready to sharpen your aim or find the perfect firearm? Come to St. Nicholas Guns and Range. With a huge selection of guns, ammo, and accessories, plus Jacksonville's best indoor range for every skill level. They've got everything you need to hit your target. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, their friendly experts will guide you every step of the way at 4630 Blanding Boulevard or online at stnickguns.com. St. Nicholas Gun and Range. Gear up, shoot a lot, shoot better.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. After the Florida Gators have established themselves as a dominant force, knocking off Ole Miss and LSU, Coach Billy Napier returning next season, and DJ Lagway playing out of his mind, showing he is the future of the program, the Florida Gators have been making waves in the recruiting world. Just a month ago, the Gators had the 51st ranked recruiting class. As of today, the Gators have the number 17 ranked recruiting class in the country and counting. On Monday alone, the Gators flipped 4-star linebacker Ty Jackson from USC, 3-star wide receiver Muiz Tunkara from Arizona, and 3-star offensive tackle Jahari Medlock from Cincinnati. 3 recruits in one day. It will be exciting to see what Coach Napier and his staff can do in the portal this offseason. Right now, it's 75 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time now for the State Farm College Football Report with Shane Matthews on the Gators, Tom Block on the Noles, and Joe Zagacki on the Canes. Presented by your local State Farm agent.
All right, let's start with Gator Talk. Shane Matthews joins us from the Gator Radio Network. His report is brought to you by State Farm agents Ron McCann, Mike Tozel, Caitlin Duggar, Jason Judy, Catherine Bouster. Shane, what a turnaround. I thought that was by far the biggest win in Billy's era, obviously. But even beyond that, it's been a long time since the Gators had that much of a feel-good win. How did it come about? How were the Gators able to beat Ole Miss?
Well, Frank, it's quite amazing. The bend but don't break defense. Ole Miss almost had 500 yards of offense, 0 for 3 in the red zone, 2 for 4 on fourth down, scored 17 points. It's hard to, but they came up with sacks and turnovers. And, I said this on my show that Billy's been snake bitten for so many years in games. The last couple of weeks, as Coach Furry said, God smiled on the Gators. Yeah. We're getting a lot of breaks, and we're winning the battle of the trenches. We ran for 164 yards on Ole Miss. Nobody had done that all year.
Shane, how advanced is DJ Lagway's ability to avoid a sack in the pocket?
Well, he's got great instinct, stuff you can't teach. And I think people forget, too, he's 6'4", 245 pounds. Arm tackles aren't going to bring him down, but he's got great awareness in the pocket and knows where his checkdowns are. And I thought he avoided 2 sacks early in the first half that kept drives going that were big plays in the football game.
Shane, they are playing at an elite level in terms of effort and physicality and toughness, the likes of which we haven't seen there in a long time. Is that just did they kind of bond together? I know that's corny, but You know what I mean? They didn't play like that early in the year. There's a Caleb Banks looks like a first rounder, and he was invisible earlier in the year. What, in your opinion, you've seen a lot of football, man. What has contributed to that? What has caused that?
I don't know the answer, Frank. I just know defensively we're playing our better players or players that are making plays. There's not a whole lot of rotation going on. I mean, you see some rotation, but not like it was early in the season. And they honestly are playing so much zone coverage, just keeping the ball in front of us. You know, LSU had 0 explosive plays, meaning 15 to 20 yards or more plays against us.
Right.
Ole Miss had a couple, and those were perfect throws and perfect catches, great execution on 2 of their touchdowns. Everything else was kind of keep it in front, go up and tackle, and, you know, make them drive the length of the field. But it's allowing guys to play fast, just keep the ball in front of you. And it has been remarkable because, you know, LSU went up and down the field, Ole Miss went up and down the field, and the team scored 16 and 17 points. So what we're doing is working.
What concerns you about FSU?
Oh, gosh, not a whole lot, quite honestly. That's kind of scary. They're a bad football team. You know, last week I saw a stat. Last week was the first time this year they scored over 21 points, and they were the only football team in all of college football at every level that had not scored 21 points in a game. That's just not very good. So it's still, I mean, it's going to be a night game. I think we'll have more people there maybe than they do because, you know, the capacity of the stadium's down for the renovations. But we got a chance to win 7 games. We're going to go to a bowl game. It's been a good year. You got to continue the momentum.
Final thing, Shane. Florida has been very good of late in games people didn't think they would win. The old chip on your shoulder, you're underdog, you're a home underdog. Well, now they're expected to win. Is that a danger area for them? I mean, he's done a good job of having them ready to play, but could they be asleep at the wheel in a game like this?
I mean, we could be sluggish maybe at the beginning of the game, but I think Billy and his staff will do a good job all week, keeping them motivated. Look, we have an opportunity to do something we haven't done. I mean, they've beaten us the last 2 years. We need the momentum to continue going for recruiting and all that kind of stuff, and I expect us to play well in Tallahassee.
All right, Shane Matthews checking in for the Gator Radio Network. Thank you, Shane.
Take care, guys.
All right, let's head to Tallahassee. Tom Block is with us. His report is brought to you by State Farm agents Craig Dewhurst, Ramey Ellaboo, Marky Williams, Scott Hobson, Brandon Thomas, Tiffany Mapp, Randy Taylor. Tom, I understand the opponent wasn't good, but they played better. Luke Kromenhoek played well. They pulled away a little bit. Did the Noles gain maybe a little bit of confidence from having something good happen for a change for them?
Yeah, I'd say maybe a little, and mostly, or most importantly, probably with Luke, who you just mentioned, because the quarterbacks have been alternating, not necessarily with a huge rhyme or reason to it, 3 or 4 series here and there. And Luke got basically the whole game last week until it was decided, and then Brock came in. So I think that's a shot in the arm for him and for the offense around him. And it was, you know, Norvell said it Monday during his press conference that Luke's starting again this week. So I think it was a step forward overall. Just winning in general after the year they've had. Certainly, you know, that's a little bit to feel good about as you got into the work week.
Tom, what do you like or don't like about this Florida State defense right now heading into this matchup?
Well, I think the Florida State defense it's got better parts than what it's played this year. There are times in which they have played pretty good football, even, you know, against Clemson. If you look at it, they like Clemson, you know, gained some yards, but really played well in the red zone against them and held them to 29 points. Played pretty good against Miami for the first half or so. I think this defense can play well if they put their mind to it. I think there's been an cumulative effect that, you know, they go out and they do okay for a quarter or a half, but the offense has been so incapable of scoring that eventually the defense's will just disappears. So, you know, hopefully you can get past that for 60 minutes against your arch rival this weekend.
Yeah, what is the mood about the? Obviously, it's been a down mood for FSU. I know that, and I get it. And they had to fire assistant coaches and whatnot, but they did just win, and it is a rivalry game. What is the mood there? That we have a chance here? That, you know, Florida's playing well of late, but there's certainly Florida's not coming in 10-1. I mean, what is the feeling about this game among the people in Tallahassee, Tom?
I think among the people in Tallahassee, it's just been such a tough year that most expect Florida to win, and have expected that. Maybe not for a while, but certainly the last 2 weeks with the way Florida has played since that game at Texas. But I do think if you get past that and look, and of course I spent a lot of time with Keith Jones and he goes way back like you do, Frank, to the late 70s when Florida one year was winless and almost beat FSU. The next year they had turned it around and played FSU within 4. I mean, you can look at any rivalry. And the team that's got the great year or the better year isn't necessarily the team that always comes out on top. So I do expect they'll play well this week. And, and after that, it's time to turn the page. And, for a lot of the guys, not just the seniors, this will be their last go-around in Garnet Gold. The roster will get overhauled.
Final question, and it's hard to answer this, but you can't change yesterday. I know that. But in your opinion, if he had given the ball to Luke Kromenhoek the minute DJ got hurt, would they won some of those games? Or are there too many other things that weren't right?
It might be slightly better, but I think there were too many other things that were not right. DJ, and DJ to me, I think he was a little nicked, and they never really talked about it when he started, and clearly he wasn't votable. But to me, he didn't look like the same guy that had played earlier in his career.
Right.
But he took the bullets for everything that was wrong with the team early on because people were so shocked that they just weren't that good. And, what we've seen as the year went on is that Florida State, the offensive line's been a mess. The tight ends have struggled. The receivers not very good. I mean, there's a lot of issues there. There's been injuries too, but DJ sort of wore all that. So directly to your question, though, I mean, maybe if one guy had played the whole time, there's another win or two in there. But, I mean, overall, the season would still be where it is now, a disappointment.
Yeah, great point. Tom Block checking in from the Seminole Radio Network. Thank you, Tom.
All right, have a happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
Same to you, buddy. Let's go down to Coral Gables, say hello to Joe Zagacki, the play-by-play voice of the Canes. His report is brought to you by State Farm agents Joe McGee and Gene Coleman. All right, Joe, the Canes, after a disappointing loss to Georgia Tech, played very well last week. Got going one game to go. We'll get to Syracuse in a minute. But look, it's been a long time, right, since Miami's had all of it in front of them like this. I've got to believe the mood, the feeling, everything's pretty positive in Coral Gables these days, right?
Yeah, it's been very exciting, Frank. A lot of excitement around the program. I think the players are excited with this opportunity. Hell, I'm looking forward to calling a game that has such meaning and magnitude for the University of Miami. So a lot of intensity, as I said. I think there's a lot of good focus. And this is the game they've waited for, right? You got to win your way into a championship, and so it's right there. Go on the road and win at Syracuse, and you're in the championship game.
Cam Ward's been so outstanding. Joe, do you anticipate another brilliant performance out of him as he makes his final Heisman push?
Well, here's the one thing that I know about University of Miami football going forward into Saturday's game, and if there is anything after that is meaningful. They have the best player on the field, Cam Ward. And I think he's going to play a great game. He's the guy that transcends the strategy. He's one of those players that you need to transcend anything that's going on. He's been great all season long. He was played at a high level last week against Wake Forest, and I would expect him to have a really good game against Syracuse.
So, Joe, I got to tell you, and I've said this before, in all those years doing those college games with Gino and the national college games, I saw just about every place. I never got to Nebraska, and I never got to Oregon, but I saw most of them, right? I've been to most of the venues. I got to tell you, the Carrier Dome, when they're good, the way it's set up, the way it's built, is loud as hell. This is an 8-3 team. They're not as good as Miami. Is this a sticky game? I mean, my gut tells me this is a good game on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's – listen, Frank, I was there. I did the 1992 game when Gino was the quarterback, and Miami was 10-0, ranked number 1 in the country. I think Syracuse was 8th, and Graves, the quarterback Graves, I forgot his first name now.
Marvin Graves.
Yeah, Marvin Graves. He was puking on the last drive of the game, and he threw a pass to Chris Gedney, and Miami tackled him on the 3-yard line and won 16-10.
Wow.
So I know what that place can be like. Conversely, the last 2 times Miami's gone up there, I think they've outscored them like 80-7. So I'm hoping it's more like that than 92. But I expect this game to be decided probably on the last drive of the game.
Who are some defenders for Miami that have to play well, in your opinion, to slow down Syracuse enough to get the win?
You know, it's funny you asked that question because in my notes I have written down the stars have to play great. And so Ruben Bain's got to play great. He had a play last week where he pushed the pocket and he had a gigantic sack, and it was just will and want to. So he's got to play great. Akeem Mesidor is playing at defensive end now, and for Mesidor, it's going to be his 49th game. He's got to play great. I think their tackles are probably a weak spot. Miami needs to have tremendous edge pressure from Bain and Mesidor. Then Maui Noah, middle linebacker, played his best game of the year last season. That's got to carry over. And then everybody in the secondary, just got to make a blanket statement that they've got to cover and tackle. Syracuse is going to complete passes. I mean, that's what this guy has done all season long, McCord. He's broken every single season passing record that Syracuse has. He throws for 358 yards a game. He has thrown for over 280 yards in every single game. So he's going to complete passes. Miami has to tackle, in particular, Oronde Gadsden. You got to get him on the ground. So he's going to complete passes, but Miami's got to tackle him and don't turn those small plays into big plays.
And you're right, Kyle McCord, just a hair under 4,000 yards with the game left for the season and 26 touchdowns. You're exactly right. It's going to be an awful fun one. Miami's earned their way into this. I think they're going to wind up winning and playing SMU next week, and it's been a great year for the Canes. They've earned every bit of it. Joe Zagacki checking in, the play-by-play voice of the Miami Hurricanes. Thank you, Joe. Have a great Thanksgiving, man.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, Joe Zagacki, the terrific play-by-play voice of the Canes. Before that, it was Tom Block talking Seminole football, and Shane Matthews weighing in on the Gators. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines on the other side, so stick around.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You see it at the stadium or watch it on TV. He gets to watch the coach's film.
I'm Jeff Logman, and I'll tell you what I saw on Check the Tape Tuesday.
Brought to you by Napa Auto Care. Check the tape.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell and Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell and Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this. Call State Farm agent Gene Coleman at 764-4139.
Frank Frangie here. This November, Nimnik Chevrolet is honoring the brave men and women who have served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partnership with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchased, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs to military veterans and support the K9s for Warriors mission. And this month, Nimnik Chevrolet is offering $1,000 military appreciation discount on select new Chevrolet models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. Shop online 24/7 at nimnikchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Follow local talent as they choose their schools.
Find out where Friday stars will be spending their Saturdays. On Hacker, listen Wednesday as high school's early signing period begins.
Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
On 1010 XL.
Your pipes are leaking, don't get nervous. Fa la 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 la. Call Roll and Reach for same-day service. Fa la 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 la. He guarantees your satisfaction. Fa la 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 la. Call Roland and he'll spring into action. Fa la 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 la. This holiday season, if you have a leak and can't wait a week, dial 904-260-7059. And from the Roll and Reach family to yours, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
Yo, ET here. You need the perfect spot to unwind with friends, family, or coworkers? Dart Bar is just right off King Street. Darts, pool, and foosball. Dart Bar has all the games to keep the fun rolling. With 20 taps, 200 plus cans, and plenty of non-alcoholic options. Dart Bar has something for everyone. Plus, we host community events and leagues and can accommodate everything from company happy hours to milestone birthdays. Dart Bar is your go-to place for fun, drinks, and great times, no matter the occasion.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. And Greg, when you start to shift from warmer weather into some cooler weather, you can get on the road. What has Honda got to offer?
Honda's got a bunch of great bikes. They've got the new e-clutch technology, which means you can ride without using your clutch.
And I love the fact you can go automatic on a bike, which was unheard of for a while.
It was for a long time, and Honda has mastered it.
You can log on, cyclesofjacksonville.com, see all they have to offer, or drop by the showroom. They're on Atlantic near Regency. That's Cycles of Jacksonville.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you get hurt, that is who you need to call. 251-1111, Harrell & Harrell. Great people take wonderful care of you. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence back on the practice field today. That's an encouraging sign. But Trevor, when he met with reporters, said that surgery is still a possibility. How do you think this will go for the Jaguar star quarterback?
I think he's going to really try to play. Now, whether or not he can pull it off or not, we'll see. I love that about him, that it would be so easy to say, listen, I'm going to have surgery. I'm going to let it heal. We're 2-9. What the heck? But he wants to be out there. And I think this too, no matter what happens, if he plays the rest of this season, I think the statement he will have made to his teammates, the statement he will have made to the fans, to his coaches, to everybody around, will speak volumes for many years going forward. I can tell you, football players that find a way to play through pain, I watched Brandon Sheriff do it, really get the respect of their teammates. And as he will be the leader of this football team for many years to come, that's already done. I think it's valuable. So I love the fact that he's trying to play. I think he's going to play, but nobody knows. Nobody will know that until he doesn't know. I don't think the coaches know, but I love that he's trying to give it a go. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Very tough kid. Let's get it to around the NFL. Daniel Jones signs with the Vikings practice squad. The Vikings have Sam Darnold, who will be a free agent at the end of this year, and injured first-round rookie J.J. McCarthy. So it seems like it's a good fit. Jones threw for 70 touchdowns and 47 interceptions prior to being released by the New York Giants.
Yeah, it's an odd fit for me. But I guess he wanted to go be a backup somewhere, go to a team that's winning, go to feel the win a little bit, feel what it's like to go on a bit of a run. I guess I knew everything you read is that the Raiders were interested and he wasn't interested in them. And I'm thinking if you could go start, and I think he'd have a heck of a chance to go play. I was a little surprised he didn't take that. It was everything you read, all you know is what you read, is that the Raiders wanted him, particularly after the Minshew injury, that it timed out about right, and that Daniel Jones had very little interest. So interesting for me anyway.
Absolutely. The Raiders are where we go next because they're going to start Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. They announced that today against the Chiefs on Friday.
Yeah, I don't think he's very good. I don't know what other options they had.
Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, Desmond's the only other option. Yeah, he's the only guy on the roster, but I don't know what else. I don't know what else they could go do if it's not Daniel Jones. But they're in a hard way. I don't think either one of those guys are very good players. So I'm glad the Jags play him down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. The Chiefs, speaking of Kansas City, are activating star running back Isaiah Pacheco from injured reserve for Friday's game with the Raiders, barring some unforeseen setbacks. So the Chiefs getting one of their major weapons back.
As I've told you every time you bring him up in this, Hays, and I still think this, he's explosive. As of all the good things the Chiefs have had, the great Patrick Mahomes, the great Travis Kelce, that defense, it's way better than it gets credit for being. Spags and the job he does with them. Of all that, they haven't had the explosiveness they had since Tyreek Hill left, but Pacheco is an explosive running back. Kareem Hunt's a good back. Edwards-Helaire has helped them from time to time, but they're not explosive. They get back some explosiveness when they get Pacheco back, in my mind.
Absolutely. The Chargers are dealing with an injury. Running back J.K. Dobbins is considered week to week with a knee injury. Dobbins sprained his MCL in Monday's loss to Baltimore. He's rushed for 766 yards with 8 touchdowns.
That's a big deal because no matter how much people make about Jim Harbaugh, the former quarterback, being the coach, Harbaugh wants to run the football. He wants to be tougher than you, more physical than you, and he wants his team to run the football. And losing their best running back is a hard thing. They still got Gus Edwards. They got other backs, but that's a hard one for them. It is.
The Giants are really reeling at quarterback. They started Tommy DeVito last week. He is banged up, dealing with a forearm injury, so it appears that Drew Lock is going to get the call on Thanksgiving against the Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, are Eli Manning and Frank Gifford not available?
Yeah. They seem like if there's a team tanking in the NFL right now, it's the New York Giants.
I mean, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Daniel Jones was an abject failure as a Giant. But isn't he better than those two guys?
He is.
That's a weird story. It really is.
It absolutely is. We spoke of Trevor Lawrence's toughness. Get this story out of San Francisco. Linebacker Fred Warner, who we all believe is one of the best that's doing it today, reveals he's been playing through a fractured ankle.
How about that?
How?
Well, first of all, I think he's the best middle linebacker in football. Wow, he's right. I mean, again, it's a sport for men now.
Yeah.
It's a sport for men, and that's about as much of a man as you can have. No question about it.
That's unbelievable. Let's get to college football. The playoff rankings have been updated. Indiana dropped 5 spots to number 10, but appears in good shape with a win over lowly Purdue that they'll be in the field. Miami is 6th. Georgia's 7th. Clemson, Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina are the first teams out.
The question will be as we move forward is, does this committee still value the loss column so much higher than strength of schedule? And it looks like it does. That's the question moving forward. Does the loss column trump strength of schedule? And if it does, you'll see the tournament grow and grow and grow. But in college football, all the polls, all the BCS and the Alliance and everything it's been, the loss column has always trumped strength of schedule, except maybe until FSU last year. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues.
Without a doubt. Let's get to college basketball. The Gators are back in action tomorrow against Wake Forest.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. It's 2 games. They're playing in Kissimmee. They play back-to-back games, and then they play either Minnesota or somebody else in the second game based on how it goes against Wake Forest. Look, they got a really good team. And I'll tell you one other thing. If you're keeping an eye on it, you know who's got a pretty good team this year? Florida State. Florida State is bouncing back. They're like 7-1. The only loss was to Florida, and they cut that thing to 4 at the end of the game, and then Florida banks in a 3. The fact that FSU looks like they are resurgent under Leonard Hamilton tells you more about how good Florida is because they went over there and won and really controlled most of the game there. So I think Florida, this might be one of the best combo years for the Gators and the Noles. I think the Gators will win 2 more this week.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to see Florida State back among the best in that league. Boy, what a night in college basketball last night. We talked about it yesterday in headlines, all the matchups, and it lived up to it. Auburn is officially a problem. They are a national title contender in every way, shape, and form. The Tigers trashed 12th-ranked North Carolina 85-72. Another massive win for Auburn.
Are you watching Janai Broom's numbers?
He's incredible.
I mean, again, he's going to finish this season and then go into assisted living.
I was going to say, he's
been in college
been
forever.
There forever, and he transferred there.
But what a good player.
Yes.
And he is a dominant player. By the way, you see Danny Hurley lost his mind again? Again.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
I don't know. They play today, so, I mean, we'll see. But they've lost 2 games
at some point, the AD's got to bring him in and say, listen, I appreciate the 2 titles.
Right.
You're a great coach. You're probably going to win some more titles. You got to settle down, big fella.
Yeah.
At some point, someone over him has got to bring him in now. Say, no, you can't. Don't explain it away. Don't tell me. Just stop.
Right.
You know?
No doubt about it. The SEC got another huge win in addition to Auburn. Number 9 Alabama takes down 6th-ranked Houston in overtime, 85-80.
You know, it's funny. Alabama, Auburn, and Tennessee, 3 schools that have never been good at anything but football, are suddenly really good at basketball. I mean, those are as football-ish as schools have ever been. You don't get much more football-ish than those schools, and they're all really good at basketball with really good coaches.
Yeah, and there was a game last night between 2 of the bluest bloods in the sport. Number 1 Kansas beats 11th-ranked Duke 75-72.
Yeah, there was one. That was a physical game too. But yeah, college basketball. Here's one thing you do know: for the most part, there's exceptions, but if you get that group of true blue bloods, Kansas and Duke and North Carolina and Kentucky and usually UCLA in that group. Usually, if there's 4 or 5 of those, about 3 of them are in the Final Four. You know, here's what the Final Four is: Duke, Kansas, North Carolina, and upstart Butler.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll throw Gonzaga in. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's usually that. So it's great to see those good teams playing.
Let's get it to Major League Baseball, and we've got plenty of time. So, Frank, I know this is something that may set off a little bit of a tangent with you, which is fine. Blake Snell gets a 5-year, $182 million deal from, of course, the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers, who needed more talent.
Yeah, right. Well, you know how JJ and I probably differ on this, but you know how I feel about that. This is up to baseball. If baseball wants to fix it, have a cap and a floor. If logic tells you that every other sport has a cap and a floor, if not, then the Dodgers will win again and the Yankees will win again, and there's some smaller market teams that are good at it, but for the most part they will. What a rotation! I mean, I hope, you know, Blake Snell, who's won 17 Cy Youngs, I guess he slides in there if Ohtani comes back. Does he slide in there as the 4th starter?
No, I actually don't think they have a good rotation.
Well, I mean, you don't?
No.
I mean, if Ohtani's back, you know, I mean, hang on, let me pull up give me the rotation. Let me pull it up.
Exactly. Like they that was their main thing. Like the entire playoffs, they had to do these bullpen games. They had like Glasnow.
Glasnow was hurt. I guess Kershaw's
leaving. Kershaw didn't play.
Yeah.
That is the one thing. Like they.
Okay.
What really pisses me off isn't the fact that they got him, it's the deferred money again. Like, to me, that rule has to change.
Why do they allow that?
Play, like, they can't even pay these guys.
With everybody healthy, it's Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani. Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Glasnow, and Kershaw. If they're all healthy, that Walker Buehler couldn't make that rotation. That's why he's leaving. I mean, they'd have to all be healthy. Now they've all had issues.
Always hurt.
Yeah, you're right.
Kershaw's done.
I mean, Tony Gonsolin
now is like.
Dusty May, Tony Gonsolin are still there. I mean,
Dusty May I thought was going to be great.
I did too.
But he's just got really unhealthy unlucky with injury.
But back to where you're going with the question, that's where baseball is. Where baseball is some teams can spend $350 million and other teams are going to spend $70 million, and it's just a weird dynamic. No matter what sport it would be, to me, it's a very weird dynamic.
Without a doubt, we will continue to monitor the hot stove for Major League Baseball, but we will get it to pop culture next, because on this date In 1985, this happened.
He's cut! Russian's cut, and it's a bad cut. And now it's Rocky Balboa coming after Ivan Drago. And now the Russian wants to go on. He grabs Rocky Balboa by the throat. Balboa picking up the Russian and throws him to the ground like a wrestler. It's a gutter war. No holds barred in Moscow. Rocky may be on the receiving end so far, but he's here to fight. This is shaping up to be a personal war, and right now, it's anybody's boxing match.
Rocky IV.
That was 4?
Released today in 1985. I love that clip because you remember his kid. He's obviously fighting in Christmas Day in Moscow. And his son, who's like 10 or 8 or a little kid, is at home watching it with his 2 buddies. And they show him, and they're kind of punching in the air. And
well, the best thing is at the end of the movie, he's prevented another Cold War.
He does.
You don't see a lot of boxers prevent the Cold War.
Yeah, what a great diplomat,
There's
Rocky
no
Balboa.
question.
Yeah,
Still to this day, he's kept us out of things.
That's right.
Yes.
Unbelievable. So hard to believe. Boy, that's 40 years ago almost. 39 years
Drago,
ago.
one of my absolute all-time favorite movie villains.
If he dies, he dies.
Exactly.
Great villain.
Just phenomenal
just a
character.
great villain. And how about Drago's wife? I mean, she was.
What's her name? Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah, Brigitte Nielsen does a great job in it as well. And it's a fantastic movie. Paulie's got the robot.
Oh, I forget when he gets rich. I forgot, I didn't forget. The best, to me, training scene. Out of all the Rockies, he's in Siberia. He's just like picking up logs.
They're trying to spy on him in the car, and he runs off the track, and they can't keep up, and he climbs the mountain and screams Drago.
In the Russian, though, he's like punching computers, and you know, they got him hooked up to all these steroids, and great movie.
Great movie. Absolutely great movie. Happy anniversary, Rocky IV. We will get you out on our musical note of the day. We are going to once again honor our local music history. Motley Crue played today in 1987 at the Jacksonville Coliseum. I was at this concert. It was my first ever concert. Yes, I was 11 years old, and yes, my parents are awesome. Guns N' Roses opened, and no one knew who they were. 6 months later, they were like the biggest band on the planet. But at the time, Motley Crue was the headliner. Great show. I remember so much of it, and this is Wild Side. And yes, Tommy Lee, the drummer, did have the spinning drum set. It was magnificent to watch. Fantastic show. First concert, 1987.
Awesome. You were the designated driver.
Coliseum, the Coliseum had some good shows.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you start talking about, you did the Elton thing the other day. If you talk about Elvis, my mom saw Elvis at the Coliseum. You know, it had some great.
That's on my list. We'll get to it when it's the anniversary.
I can't wait till we do. We'll take a break. We'll wrap the program after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
3 NFL games on Thanksgiving Day, starting in Detroit, with the 10-1 Lions take on the 4-7 Chicago Bears. Detroit, a 9.5-point home favorite at Ford Field, minus 500 on the money line. The Bears at plus 360, over under 48.5. In Dallas, the Cowboys will take on the New York Giants. Dallas, a 3.5-point home favorite, minus 175 on the money line. Giants are plus 150, with the over-under of 37.5. Thanksgiving night, the Green Bay Packers hosting the Miami Dolphins at Lambeau Field. Packers favored by 3.5 points, over under 47.5. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
The holidays are coming, and so is your family. Is your septic system ready?
Honey, why is the yard bubbling?
Dad, the dog's swimming in the septic tank.
That's one way to greet the in-laws.
Don't let a septic disaster be the highlight of your holiday dinner. Call Duck Duck Rooter today and get it fixed before Uncle Bob finds out the hard way. Duck Duck Rooter, your local septic experts. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
This holiday season, let Bono's Catering do the cooking so you can enjoy more time with family and friends. Frank Frangie here. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for 75 years. Holiday catering is available with whole smoked turkeys, country hams, and all the fixings. Be sure to pre-order online at bonosbarbq.com or give us a call at 904-332-7427. Speaking of the holidays, Bono's signature rubs make the perfect gift for all barbecue lovers. Remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Do the Garber Wiggle, Garber Wiggle, 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 Garber Wiggle.
Garber Auto Mall is home of the lifetime warranty. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Ford comes with a lifetime warranty. At Garber Auto Mall, your purchase is covered for life. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber Wiggle, Garber Wiggle, 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 Garber Wiggle.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Hey, it's Matt Hays. Thankful 30. Did you take Awaken 180 up on their offer last month of dropping 30 pounds by Turkey Day? If you did, congrats. Easy, wasn't it? I dropped my 40 pounds in just 9 weeks. So I knew it was possible for you too. And now you're enjoying the biggest food week of the month guilt-free, knowing you're going to keep that weight off with your metabolism on fire and free support for life. Stuffing, gravy, and my personal favorite, pecan pie. Everything's on the menu, guilt-free. Maybe you didn't take me up on the Thankful 30. No worries. It's never too late to start. Maybe December will be your month, and why not? Awaken 180 was built to help you lose weight through the holidays. Parties, adult beverages, the only weight loss program built for real life, and all without medications. Go into the new year with a different resolution this year because losing weight matters, my friends. Thanks to Awaken 180. Reserve your consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com.
This November, Nimnik Chevrolet is honoring the brave men and women who served our country. Nimnik is proud to announce their partners with K9s for Warriors. With every vehicle purchase, you're helping provide highly trained service dogs to military veterans and supporting the K9s for Warriors mission. And this month, as a token of our appreciation, Nimnik Chevrolet is offering $1,000 military appreciation discount on select new Chevrolet models. So who makes your purchase go further for veterans? Nobody but Nimnik. And oh, by the way, that red tag sales event is back at Nimnik. This month, you can save up to $12,000 off a new Silverado or enjoy rates as low as 0% financing. That's right, 0% and no payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnik's got the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. So you want great deals? You want a dealership that truly respects the military? You want to head to Nimnik? Head there today. Nobody but Nimnik.
He used to catch passes for Spurrier.
Oh, my! What a great catch in the corner!
Now he throws opinions at Napier. Chris Doring, Tuesday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Hurricane season is here, and now's the time to think about a home generator. My friends at Ricketts Electric can make sure your home always has power. They can install the perfect generator for your home and are even offering a 10% discount this month if you mention 1010XL. So call my friend Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960 or find them on Facebook. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them at 320-5960.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida.
We are family-owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab, and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your next round of golf with us. Our welcoming atmosphere and love for golf keep our friends coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound and Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at tysonsoundandsecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound and Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Safety Andrew Wingard, who has been dealing with injury this season, is looking to make his return this week, and what the bye has looked like for him as an injured player.
It's just good to get away. I mean, honestly, not myself, but these guys have been at it since August, and that's a long time. You gain a lot of perspective when you take a step back and get away from it and take some time off. So I think that's what it means collectively.
JTA Game Day Express is back. Save gas and avoid parking hassles as the Jaguars take on the Texans this Sunday. Let them do the driving. With multiple locations around town and passes starting at just $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit jtafla.com. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, where have we been on the show today? Well, we talked some Jaguar football. Trevor Lawrence met with the media. He's going to try and play. We'll keep an eye on that one. We don't know if he's going to be able to or not, but he's certainly going to try and give it a go. He said it'll be day-to-day, and I believe that. We talked some college football. Florida, FSU. Can FSU win the game? Georgia Tech. We did that in our picks as well. And then we had the State Farm College Football Report. Shane Matthews talked Gators. Tom Block talked Knowles. Josie Gackey was here to talk about the Seminoles. About the Hurricanes. We did our picks as well. We had a lot of fun today on the program, and that's where we've been throughout the course of the show today. I want to get back to something you touched on in the headlines, so I wanted to get to it. Forever in college football, to pick the teams that went to won championships, even way back in the day before there was an alliance or a coalition or a BCS, what mattered was the loss column. Everything was based in 1984. Brigham Young won the national championship. Okay, you realize that? You know how they won it? Do you know how they won the national championship in '84?
Not really.
Okay, they beat a 6-5 Michigan team in the Freedom Bowl, or one of those bowls, and they won the national championship. Florida's team, the New York Times team, would have beat that team by 3 touchdowns. Now they were on probation and whatnot. Washington would have beat that team, but they had a loss. Washington would have blown that team out. But we forever married to the loss column, which is why, in fairness to Florida State fans, and I get it, why they were so appalled last year, because that's for the first time ever, the loss column didn't matter. They had 0 in the loss column, but still didn't get in the tournament. So I get it. And I wonder if what happened to FSU and all the attention it got put focus back on the loss column again. Indiana is going to be in the tournament because they only have one. They have a 1 in the loss column. There's no chance in my mind I would ever pick them over Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia. I'll go on and on.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. I may go on. I'd pick South Carolina to beat Indiana, who's got 3 in the loss column.
I might pick Florida. If it was Florida at Indiana.
Yeah, who's got 5 in the loss
I
column.
might pick Florida based on how they're playing right now.
So the point is
10th place SEC team.
Yeah, right. And so the point,
I agree with you.
Yeah, so the point is, and this isn't a pick on Indiana, but is there a way to pull ourselves out of always judging by the loss column over strength of schedule? Because I think the only way we're fixing that is to go to more teams. Well, because once you get more teams, then they're both in. Then 9-3 Ole Miss and 11-1 Indiana are both in. And then it's decided on, like the basketball tournament, they both get in. Now the basketball tournament, the 17-13 NC State team that's probably a lot better than the 28-3 team from the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Vermont.
Yeah, or Vermont, right. So the 28-3 Vermont probably couldn't beat the 17-13 NC State team. Well, now it doesn't matter because they're both in the tournament, made the best man win. I'm not saying football's going to 65, but I do think football's got to get to 16 at least. So the loss column doesn't dominate who we pick.
Well, if you had 16 this year, again, going by the rankings right now, you would be bringing in Clemson, Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina. I think those teams are, certainly deserving of being in.
And then we'd find out if they could beat the 11-1 Indiana.
Yeah.
So that's probably where we need to go.
It's probably where we need to go because the converse of it, if we don't, if we stay at 12, then the message that the committee is sending, whether it's their job to send messages or not, their actions are going to lead to decisions being made on, and certainly in conference rooms and in athletic director rooms. If you're not going to reward strength of schedule, you're not going to have any significant non-conference matchups.
Yeah,
the Big Ten has figured this out. Michigan won the national title last year playing no one out of conference. Ohio State saw that, did the exact same thing this year, and they're going to be in the playoff. And obviously Indiana played nobody. That one I can forgive because Indiana to me would be like if Kentucky was 10-1. But obviously Kentucky would have. It'd be hard for them to navigate that in the SEC and go 7-1 and have 7 wins that don't really impress you. But my point is, the message you're going to send, whether you want to or not, is Georgia Clemson. Well, you'll never see that again. Florida going to Miami, that won't happen. All these games that you started to see getting scheduled for the playoff coming, or teams are just going to buy out of those games and schedule a cupcake.
I totally agree with that. And here's the other part of it, though. There's no right answer because if you put in 9-3 Alabama over 11-1 Indiana, then Indiana does have the answer. Then why even play the game? Why even play a regular season? And I get that too, by the way. I'm not saying bump Indiana and put in Alabama because then you're disrespecting the regular season. What I'm saying is it's got to get bigger so you have the answer. So that's the only answer you can come up with.
Don't you think that like the committee in future years will use sort of this year's results?
Could.
Because we've never had one before. So if Indiana gets like absolutely embarrassed in round 1, or we have like a Boise State who gets a bye, get embarrassed in round 2, like it's going to look bad for the committee. So maybe next time around they'll rethink just putting in a random 11-1 team just because.
Yeah, and you're right. It does.
I'm hoping that
it does flow based on season to season. I think the reason they're doing it this year is in large part because of the FSU thing. I think that was reactionary.
Exactly.
But Hays, you made a good point. I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't look at this. I didn't look at 13 through 16, but that would answer the question. Because Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina would all be in. And then if that 9-3 SEC team didn't belong in, well, then they'll get beat anyway, and you won't have to worry about it. Well, I saw one stat. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Tulane apparently is ahead of Kansas State, okay? Because Tulane has 2 losses and Kansas State 3. I think that's the number, right? Yeah, Tulane's 9-2.
Yeah, they're 17th. Kansas State's 24th.
But Tulane lost to Kansas State.
Kansas State beat them in New Orleans. They beat them on their field. So clearly Kansas State has an argument that they're better than Tulane, yet Tulane's ranked higher because they have one less loss. That's the problem.
Don't be surprised if the committee, though, in their final one,
I hear you,
if something radically changes and they get the commission, the chairman gets up there and says, at the end of the day, we really prioritized having wins over top 30 teams. And if you didn't have a win over a top 30 team, for us, ultimately, as we looked at the final picture in its totality of the season, we deemed that a disqualifier.
I could live with that.
And so Indiana's out.
Yeah, I could live with that. It would probably be better if that was said before the season rather than now. But I could live with us getting to that.
Yeah, I mean,
I could certainly live with us getting to it.
The language allows them to basically take it wherever they want to take it, because the language is basically pick the best 12 teams.
But the problem is there's a bunch of coaches and ADs on that committee,
right? And
they fall in love with the loss column.
Oh, I agree.
And so
I think Indiana's going to be in.
Yeah, I do too.
But I also cannot dismiss the chance that Indiana is the one with their hearts broken,
right?
Even if they beat Purdue 58-3.
To JJ's point, to the point you made. Maybe when they see what happens this year, they don't necessarily treat the loss column differently, but they put in a disclaimer like you just said, Hays. Maybe they say, okay, we're going to add this just so you know, if you have no wins over a top 30 team. I like that metric, by the way. If you have no win, then you're out. So think about that before you do that schedule.
Right.
So because that's a really good point. And it's got to find its way. But again, today, I feel bad saying we need to get to 16 when we just got to 12. We were just at 4 and we got to 12. This moron in Jacksonville now wants to go to 16. I get it. I get how awkward that seems from a timing standpoint, but it does seem like that would solve it today.
Well, I think, again, no one could have foreseen the Indiana Hoosiers going 10-1, playing really one game of consequence this season, losing it. So they're 10-0 against teams that really aren't very good. Their best win is over a 6-win Washington club. So, I mean, again, this is the beauty of this sport because it throws a curveball that none of us could have ever seen coming. But the other thing, too, is the ratings factor. And, this is something that is as they move beyond this year. Look, I hate to tell you this, but if SMU, Indiana, and Boise State are in this thing, the numbers are not going to be what they're hoping they're going to be.
Penn State's best win is Washington or Illinois. Best win. And they're ranked 4th.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Folks, that's our program. Hey, have a great Thanksgiving. We will not see you until Monday. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time off. JJ, enjoy your time in Ocala.
You too, man.
Have a good time.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Enjoy yourself, everybody. Eat. Watch a lot of football. Spend time with family. It doesn't get better than that. We'll see you on Monday. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie.